Whistler's Mother, that wonderful painting by Whistler, which he actually called Study in Gray and Black, but the image was his mother, and so it affectionately became called Whistler's Mother. It has been wonderful to see it again, and it made me think about doing an exercise in Notan again, which we have done before. Notan, N-O-T-A-N, is a Japanese word which basically means balance of light and dark. And the balance of light and dark, whether in black and white or color, is a very important part of what makes something look pleasing to us. It's something that is a part of a lot of pieces of art. A lot of artists think about it. This isn't done by Escher, but I think it's inspired by Escher. You've perhaps seen images like this. It can be a lot of fun and is good to think about every now and then, to take the color equation out of drawing for a little while and the pressure of rendering something that we're looking at and trying to get it to look that way, and simply just focus on the balances and the interest of shapes in black and white. So one very simple exercise to do that with is to take a piece of black construction paper and cut out at random some shapes, starting with one on each side. This is the simplest way to start. And literally just free-forming here. And then we take the base of what we cut out and with a glue stick, doesn't matter what brand, there's different brands, put a little on to stick it down. Doesn't have to stick really well, just enough to get it to stop sliding around. And then the shapes that we cut out, oops, that one was like that. And this is a good way to start it by fitting them back in here. Makes the next step a lot easier, because then we're going to just flip them right upside down. So they want to be a mirror. In other words, well, that would be interesting too. So you could do whatever you find interesting, but flipping it upside down, not moving it away like this, although that makes an interesting shape as well. So there are no rules to this. There's no right or wrong. I haven't done this for a while. I'd forgotten how much fun that is. Now that's a very simple one. Didn't take me very long to do. They can be quite complex, which makes them even more fun, more time consuming, but lots of fun. It can involve recognizable images. It can be very, very simple with, this is a suggestion of a tree and its roots, or just pure shape. And this is very abstract, but again, this shape was cut from here and then flipped upside down. And then this would be a charming thing to do sometime with a watercolor piece of art perhaps that didn't turn out quite the way we wanted it to, and it would be a good thing to start with to create a different piece of art by cutting it up and doing something like this. So, and again, even though this isn't black and white, it's dark and light. So it isn't, Notan is the balance of dark and light, we do exercises in black and white just to, as I say, take out the equation of color, which sometimes gets confusing, but color also has dark and light, and it's good to practice that with color to learn how to see darks and lights in color. Another exercise one can do is take a famous piece of art and reproduce it in just black and white, seeing the lights and darks, reducing anything that is grayish into white, anything that is really dark into dark, and experiment with how to see lights and darks like that in something that has color and is as complicated as a work of art like this. Another exercise that can be fun is to just create a random abstract line art like this inside a square, and then begin coloring certain of these shapes, seeing what happens when you color some and not the other ones. One could even add to it. See the possibilities there. So that's another good way to work on notan. And then there is the possibility of doing something like this, where I cut out this shape in white paper and then take that and trace the outline of it and so forth. Cut that out and then lay them down on a, now it's more fun. It's easier to cut these shapes out if it's a little bit larger, so I have a little bit larger square here to do this with, but it can be really interesting how those get laid down, because now this is the shape. When they're laid down repeatedly, it makes, you see the white shape. Let's get this other one out from behind here. But then it creates a black shape in between those white shapes. And depending upon how closely these are put down, there would be different shapes. And then repeat that exercise with different kinds of shapes. You can either find a shape like this online. If you go online and search notan, N-O-T-A-N, you will find lots of shapes. Or you, of course, can invent your own. This one created some really interesting, it's like, which is the shape? Is this the black shape on white, or is the white shape on black? It's just kind of a fun thing to look at. This is a diagonal. This shape here I did on a diagonal, and here I didn't get them real regimented, and that created its own interest, different black shapes as I went to the right here than the black shapes here, and then fit this sort of differently, and it just makes an interesting asymmetrical but somewhat balanced. And balance is the key here. It isn't to make it equal. This isn't a process of symmetry and making things equal, although you can do that, but it's fun to create something that is asymmetrical or not equal but balanced, such as something like this that is not completely symmetrical, or something like this, but it is balanced. It has a sense of being finished, even though because the beautiful use of white space, what we call white space here, or empty space, that becomes part of the design. So those are some things, some exercises that one could do to think about darks and lights and how they fit beautifully together.